be used for starting up such an international SSP feasibility study report. So let us see what the first to sign up are. Dear friends, at this stage, I would like to introduce my young friend, V Ponraj. He is doing his PhD under my guidance on the topic cost-effective healthcare using ICT through space system. He has worked with me closely in the formulation of a world knowledge platform based on the few of our experience with multiple nations. I asked my friend to give you for less than 5 minutes analysis on the structure of the world knowledge platform and the immediate steps needed for coherent planning and implementation of the world space knowledgeable platform briefly. These academic institutions, one or two in each nation, would thus be sufficiently funded by world governments and industries. The representative of the government and industries being of the World Space Knowledge Platform, International Advisory Committee, and all other operational coordination mechanism would know exactly what is happening. I trust the answers your question of what would be the source and the use of fund. In this turn, the academic institution would fund and coordinate subscale technology demonstration of the space solar power and reusable launch vehicle system on the ground, air and space. Let me now brief on immediate steps to be taken for the coherent planning and the implementation of the International SS mission. 5 minutes he is going to give a short presentation.
Thank you, sir, for this opportunity to present. The structure of the World Space Knowledge Platform for International SSP mission as envisioned by Dr. Kalam is to create the World Space Knowledge Platform for the International SSP mission with the participating spacefaring nations, for example, take India and USA and other spacefaring nations, joining together based on their core competencies identified, and with that vision, creating a international virtual laboratory. It is like an open virtual laboratory where the new knowledges and the systems and the knowledge can be shared, and so that it can take a birth of the new innovations, systems and the products can take birth. So that will focus on evaluation of the integrated design, which will eventually result into the low-cost access to space, reusable launch vehicle, and the space solar power transmission from space. And in addition, there is an advisory committee which can work on evolution of the policy at the governmental level, so that which will enable them to commit the spacefaring nations to participate and to become the partners to the SFC mission. So this committee may also design or a plan to market this SSP mission to the G8 or G20 nations as envisioned by Dr. Kalam. The next slide. Here, the immediate steps forward for international collaboration structure for coherent planning and implementation of SSP mission. Because many nations are working in one way, some of the other nations are working in the other way. There are two streams of thought which is prevalent in the space solar power. So if you look at the one side, is a low launch cost space missions. This is less than 400 per kg in the medium Earth orbit, and high launch cost, that is $25,000, $2,500 per kg in geosynchronous orbit missions. So if you look at that, the space systems and technologies which is needed to achieve this target, one system of thought focusing on the photovoltaic system at the space solar satellite level and convert them into a microwave transmission and then transmit to the earth. Then the other system of thought focusing on the optical system and light, a visible light wave or laser transmission. Here, these two systems of thought somehow needed to have two different type of the launch vehicle technologies. One is single stage to orbit, another one is two stage to orbit. So with the conventional SSTO adopts the architecturally new technologies with the dramatic improvements, efficiency and cost reduction. When we talk about TSTO, it is a legacy 20th century technology with incremental improvements in efficiency and cost reduction. So if you follow these two streams of thought, the mission management will be for SSTO, it is open and collaborative structure and style because it has more industry participation. If you look at the TSTO, it is closed and hierarchical structure and style because it is more driven by the government participation. And which is finally funding is government, the SSTO by government and industry, and for TSTO it is government funding for international R&D. So these two streams of thought have to be driven simultaneously to achieve. That is why you need an international virtual laboratory where open access is available, where number of institutions can participate, and two streams of thought can be pursued together so that this can be achieved. The next slide, this slide, yeah. So the kind of the working groups formulation which will help the world space knowledge platform for space solar power mission. No, sir. Back. Yeah. So this is, one is technology working groups, and another one is a public policy working group. The third one is the budget and program management working group. If you have three different type of working group to work on this virtual laboratory mission, which can help on the technology working group is one is on the space solar power systems, another one is on the orbital height of the space solar power plant and market locations on the earth. Then third one is the space transportation system, and finally the interests of the spacefaring nations. So these four areas will have different working plan for the mission group A and the mission working group B. So the first mission working group will work on the space mirrors and visible light transmission. The similar way the solar photovoltaic arrays, which can be positioned in the geosynchronous orbit at the 36,000 kilometers altitude through the single large solar power satellites for each nation. But at the same time, SSTO, which can position the satellite at 1,000 to 4,000 kilometer altitude, which can formulate a constellation of solar power satellites, multiple receiving stations in different countries. At the same time, the single SSTO as well as the TSTO, so which can carry the large payloads up to 30 tons, and rocket propulsion technologies. And if I look at the other side, small payloads less than 15 tons. So if you look at the interest of each nation, India is interested to work on both the technology, TSTO as well as SSTO. And also USA, India, Japan, UK, they are all interested in SSTO technologies. So if you look at the other area where India, Russia, China and EU interest on TSTO, and USA, Japan, India and Russia, China, they are interested on SSP, solar photovoltaic array in space for large centralized power station. So these two stream of thoughts, so it is the question, does the succeed? That is the main idea, is to formulate the world space knowledge platform and create the virtual laboratory so that the virtual laboratory will enable the institutions and the industry to participate based on their core competencies in this mission and try to push and create the feasibility study so that this can be taken up by the interesting spacefaring nations to finally achieve the mission of livable planet Earth. That is what the structure of the space solar power. Thank you.
Friends, in conclusion, I once again thank the NSS team for honoring me with the Von Braun Award. This occasion has brought us together to rededicate to all humanity our work done so far to the memory of Von Braun and other great space visionaries. We shall embark on path-breaking international mission for space solar power within the ambit of global vision for space industrialization, leading on to a new era of peace, prosperity, and abundance for all mankind. We shall build upon the trusting the relationship we have established and consolidated these last 4 years between NSS in India. We shall now strive to expand this relationship in an organized and well-structured manner, creating a world space knowledge platform with a virtual laboratory of 25 specialists and generalists drawn from government, industry, US, India, along with the other spacefaring nation. Finally, friends, I would like to suggest the following points of action plan needed for realizing the great mission space solar power due to livable planet Earth. 1. Creation of the world space knowledge platform with a virtual laboratory for space industrialization by USA and India and other spacefaring nations. Second, identify the space virtual laboratory partners, minimum 10 nations, with a clearly defined mission to draw up a detailed feasibility study report on the International Space Solar Power Mission, supported by definitive subscale technology demonstration of critical SSP and RLV technologies on ground, air, and space, and fully validate the critical concept of the reusability of space transportation system on which the whole mission concept rests, along with the defined period of study with the necessary institutional and financial support. There are choices for space solar power, wireless transmission, including microwave, millimetric wave, there is a W band, laser wave, or nano energy packs, and visible sunlight deflection through a space mirror approach. In 3 years' time, virtual laboratory for space solar power can bring an optimum, workable, and possible solution, particularly for transportation of space solar power to its terrestrial stations. Within the next 6 months' time, we need to bring out a workable 20-page research document for marketing SSP to spacefaring nation and political level. The challenge in marketing the space solar power to the nation of importance for taking up the mission by joining this World Space Knowledge Platform as a partner. That means space solar power proposal has been marketed to G8 and G20 nations. From Indian side, I can assure you that I can initiate necessary action in consultation with my government. Similarly, NSS can simultaneously work on it and initiate necessary action with the US government so that the International Space Solar Power Mission can be realized through World Space Knowledge Platform. With these words, thank you once again for honoring me with the Braun Award, and the peoples of the world enable to give us this one collaboration. May I wish you all the best. God bless you.